Now, before you can even publish your podcast, you obviously need to understand exactly how the process works. To start, let's talk about some key terms you'll encounter when publishing your podcast, such as hosting and directories. If you're not quite at the publishing stage yet, no worries at all. Check out our full video on how to start a podcast and the best podcast setup and come back here when you're done. Okay, let's first talk about hosting platforms and directories and how they're related to each other. A hosting platform is a service that stores and distributes your podcast audio files to the directories. And those directories let you play your podcast or videos. It might sound a little bit confusing, but it's worth noting that most hosting and directories are all one and the same. It's important for your podcast to be on all the major podcasting platforms to expand your reach as much as possible. And if you're interested in growing your podcast in order to monetize it, make sure you subscribe, as we'll be going over this in an upcoming video. Next up on the glossary tour is the RSS feed, which is an essential part to getting your voice out there. RSS stands for Really Simple Syndication and allows you to update your content automatically across a range of different platforms. I'll show you how to go through all of this in just a moment, but before we dive in, did you know that you can host, distribute, and manage your RSS feed right through Podcastle for free? We've got a link in the description below in case you're interested. Now that we're done with definitions, I can show you how to host in the all-in-one platform called Podcastle, as well as every other hosting platform. First things first, open up Podcastle, click on My Shows, and then select one of your shows from the list. By the way, if you're new to Podcastle, check out our full tutorial on recording and editing here. After you click on your shows, then you'll need to click Add an Episode. Here, you'll be presented with this screen where you can add in the episode details and upload the file if it's been pre-recorded. Now, you'll want to take your time with this part and make sure you're adding an episode description that forces your reader to take time out of their very busy day to listen to exactly what you have to say. A few extra minutes here can boost your viewership like crazy. Add in the cover art, or if you're not quite sure if you want to do different cover arts, you can just add your podcast logo here. Add in the episode info, tags, and any additional publishing information, and boom, your podcast has now been published on Podcastle. But how do you get your podcast into other directories? Great question, and let's take a look at Spotify as an example. First, grab that RSS link that we talked about, which you can find in a couple different places. The first is in the top right corner as soon as you click on your show, and you can also locate the RSS feed under the settings of the published podcast in the streaming section. Let's connect this show to Spotify. To do this, click on the connect link and get started creating your Spotify for Podcasters account. Register your new podcast and give a little bit of time for Spotify to verify that you own the podcast content before submitting it. After that, it's just as easy as connecting your Spotify account up to your Podcastle RSS feed for instant updates everywhere at the click of a button. And it works exactly the same way for every other major podcasting streaming service. If the speed of publishing wasn't enough to show you how easy it is to podcast with Podcastle, check out our video comparing Podcastle to all the other major podcasting platforms like Riverside and Audacity. And if your heart's already set on Podcastle, don't forget that you can record, publish, and host for free, or get 50% off when you upgrade to one of our paid plans with AI and tons of other amazing features, and upgrade at a later date if you like it. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.